Sup, everybody. Welcome to the brand new Focused with GK visual podcast. That's what I'm going to call this. It's a podcast basically because you're not seeing me. However, I'm going to share my screen and show you all the goodies. So, to me, that's a visual podcast. Y'all don't want to see me anyway. You want to see these beautiful images we did in Puerto Rico. As we said, Nola Rico. That was so much fun. Hold on one second. Okay. So, the video I just played was a countdown thing. I didn't realize I wasn't actually live when I hit it to play until 2 minutes down. So anyway, if you're here, thank you so much for being here. Mr. Bryce, right? Bryce Hemstra. He says down here, please give credit where credit is due. So music is by Influx by Dysfunction. Only Human, instrumental by Parade of Lights, and Mr. Bryce Hemstra. So this is his YouTube page right here. So giving some other YouTubers some love. Feel free to hit the subscribe. Why don't you leave a comment that you saw it on my channel or something cool like that. I don't know. So, all right, let me get out of this. This screensaver actually is from Puerto Rico. This is when we were at Old San Juan. Very, very, very cool place. Just beautiful. The water over there is absolutely ridiculous. So what I wanted to show you today was, first let me show you a couple things. Now, I have the Fuji XT3 camera. I've been owning this camera for a couple months now, and I honestly got it as a backup for my Canon Mark III. I've been Canon for over 24 years, and like everybody else, you want something new, you want a different look, you want some usability, you want better focusing, you still want good color, but you know, we all want a new bag of tricks in our bag. It helps us be creative, and that's what camera companies are starting to learn, that it's not just another toy for us. It's not just one cool feature they need to add to a new model. It's a full professional usability that everybody wants to have. You know, whether you're a pro photographer or not, it is so awesome to spend the money on a camera that allows you to shoot like a pro and gives you the functionality of everything you want to do. You just need to apply your knowledge to make it happen. Honestly, I was not expecting to love the Fuji camera as much as I do. Seriously. So anyway, I'm going to show you this wedding. This was in Puerto Rico. These are my very good friends, Heather and Andrew. And when I tell you, they are the most down-to-earth, laid-back, fun, beautiful human beings you ever want to meet. I was honestly almost in tears and honored to be there with them. When she asked me to, you know, will you be our photographer? I'm like, in Puerto Rico? We going? She's like, yep. I'm like, OMG. Yes, indeed. Let's bring New Orleans to Puerto Rico. So we flew in, and then we had a couple hours drive to get to this beautiful location. And I just kind of joked around like, bringing New Orleans to Puerto Rico. We should call it Nola Rico. So that was our little thing. So let me just show you a few images. And I grabbed a couple of images before I went live. I try to do my YouTube videos as if they were the kind of videos I was looking for when I was looking for videos on certain topics, whether it's the camera, whether it's the lens, it doesn't matter what it is. I really enjoy seeing actual work being done, not just models, you know, like real jobs, man. I don't know who else is really showing real jobs on YouTube often, but I decided that shall be me. So everything that I'm going to share with you guys always on my channel is completely real. It's something I was paid to go do, and I'm showing you the products that I delivered to them. And I figured, why not have my YouTube channel based on the usability of why I do what I do and how and why, and share that with you guys. So whether you're a brand new photographer or you've been doing this like me for over 24 years, I want this to be knowledgeable yet fun, and we are absolutely open to questions and discussion. And, you know, one of our old teachers way back when said while he was on the podium, it's the worst thing you new photographers can do sitting in the audience right now. We're all looking at each other like, what is he getting at? He said, the worst thing you can do sitting in this room right now is not asking any questions. He says, that's why you're here. That's why you paid to be here. That's why these other people are here. This is a craft. Photography is an art form and a craft, and the business part is something that we pass down to other photographers who are in business, and it's your job to carry the torch and keep this thing going. So that is my YouTube channel to me. It really is. And I got to be honest, I can't believe all the friends I have made through the YouTube channel. So, not to drop only a couple of names, but I mean, from Sunny way out by Ireland, you got Pirate Pete, you got Throttle Down Under, Rob, come on, man, Australia. Yesterday, he was from Guam. Hennessent, yeah, if you're here, dude, giving you some shout outs. That just blows me away because we're in the car yesterday. My wife and I were going to eat lunch. And I told her, I said, what's the most amazing thing about doing this YouTube thing is even though we're in different time zones all around the planet, when you get on, say, this live stream with me right now, no matter what time you are having in your location, we're still together at the same time. I know. That's wicked, right? So it's like time and space. What is it? Well, right now is literally right now everywhere. Ooh, that's cool. I'm gonna have to blog that on my Focus with GK blog. Right about that. So when we say right now, we are literal as far as, we're definitely here. So let me show you some images that I wanted to see, which was show me the bright, show me the dark, show me the focus, show me the work, show me the quality, show me the end product, show me the before product. I want to see the raws. I want to see what you did afterwards, and I want to know why you did what you did. I want to know what latency do I have? What range can I get out of this camera? I mean, can I physically use it on every job that I do, or am I limited? And if I'm limited, then what are my limitations? Just let me know what am I dealing with, because if this is not the camera to keep in my bag, I'll get the camera that's supposed to be. Pirate Pete, good morning, sir. Wow, it's 4:30. What you doing up so early? That is early, my friend, and it's Friday for you. Happy Friday. Oh my goodness. So if you're in the comments right now, Mr. Pirate Pete just responded, and is your name Pete? I'm assuming it is Pirate Pete. Fantastic guy, but I tell you, I love having followers that are like myself, which are positive human beings that just want the best out of people, and we all want to encourage each other to move forward. So that's what we're about. So if you're a hater, my subscribers are going to jump you hard in the comment sections. That is not allowed here. Nothing negative, no haters. You're warned. That's all I'm telling you. Our Focus with GK posse is in the house. So, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain studios such as yours, big experience buffering. Okay. I don't know what that means, but okay. So I'm using OBS right now for the live stream, and YouTube right now is telling me it's having a difficulty. So you guys may have a buffer. So if you do, please tell me in the comments so I can slow down or pause and take a breath. Absolutely take a sip of water like right now. So everybody shows off their best work on Instagram, on their websites. You're always seeing their best work. And I decided a good way to battle all of the, not fake, but everybody's just showing their best work, So when you go browsing photographers, if you're a shopping bride, you're only saying it's Pete, and if you say it twice, it becomes repeat. That's a good one, buddy. That's definitely a good one. So I tell my shopping brides when they call me, and I always ask them, how did you find me? For one, what is your searchability? The second thing is, how many have you browsed before getting to me? And I hear the same thing quite often. I don't know how to judge photographers because they all look the same. I know they're putting only their best work out, and they don't answer their phones. I'm like, okay, that's amazing. What time can I call you? And I'll give them actual wedding logins. Like, here's the last 2-3 weddings that I had a great time with. Here's a full wedding login. Call me tomorrow. And they're always shocked and surprised. I'm proud of my work. I'm very proud of the whole process from beginning to end. And if every client is happy, then show the world, man. Show the world everything that you do. And today I'm going to show you some beautiful images from the Puerto Rico wedding. Again, if you're just joining us, this is Heather and Andrew. Andrew's not in this picture right now, but he will be in a second. But I wanted to show you the final version of some of these images that I gave them. Meaning, when I had the raw file in Capture One, this is what I did as far as color and contrast. And, you know, I'd said, okay, I'm done on this file. Let's apply this to all these images in this exact same spot so they look very consistent. So let me show you the light images. And this shot, first of all, you have to know, and if you can't tell, this is sunset. All right, this is absolutely golden hour, man. This is the last 20 plus minutes of daylight before it went dark. And that sun is way over here to the right, if I can see that. And let me give you guys a little more zoomage. All right, so I'm not sure how good this looks on your end. Good old YouTube giving me problems already. I don't know what you guys are seeing. I take that back. I'm looking at my phone as it's streamed. It looks good. It looks good. There is absolutely a delay, though, because I just zoomed in. Are you guys seeing the zoom in? Oh, yeah, there it is. Wow, that's a good minute delay. Interesting. So I'm curious with this YouTube lagging thing. When you guys comment, is the typing, is the texting part in real time and the video is slow? Or am I seeing everything at the same delay speed? Interesting. Because if everything goes on the same delay speed, then literally I can just do my thing. But if you guys are texting and watch, let's do this right now. Pirate Pete, check it out. I'm going to click the zoom in 3, 2, 1. All right. I should totally have said that and typed something. Hold on. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. All right. You ready? I'll see if I can do this. I'm gonna click the zoom and then I'm gonna hit enter on the text. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hit go. Text should be right there. So I have no idea how close in time this really is, but let's continue, shall we? So, okay, so this was end of the day. I knew this ball of light was going to be happening, and everything I wanted to happen did. I knew that beautiful ball of joy, that yellow-orange joy was going to happen eventually. And anybody that was there will tell you that these clouds that were here, where am I? All these clouds. If you look in the distance, that is rain. Way back there is rain. We didn't know what we were going to be getting. And of course, every bride and groom wants a perfect wedding day, but it's not guaranteed. And the sun was in and out behind those darn clouds. But something was telling me that as soon as it hits the skyline, you know, the horizontal line down here, when it gets beneath those clouds, amazing was going to come. So thankfully, I was right. So everything I'm going to show you, well, at least right now, this is all natural light, no flash. Okay, I don't like turning the flash on until I absolutely need to. And even then, I wonder how can I bounce it or soften it or just use it in a way to where it's not just flat at their face. You know what I'm saying? So let me go to this. Let me show you something. When I go into the bride's getting dressed location, everything I'm showing you, by the way, this entire wedding was photographed with only 2 lenses. The 16mm 1.4, which is the image you're seeing right now, and the Canon 85mm 1.8 with the Fringer adapter. And basically, this 16mm lens is what, actually a 23. it's wide enough to where it's perfect, but it can focus so close to your subject that you can cover a room. You can walk and cover a room, and it's just gonna work. It's gonna focus. You're not. I mean, for you to literally be too close to focus on somebody, you'll have to hit them. Like your camera will smash their face. This of the rings is me placing the rings. Let me do this. Hold on. Let me take a snapshot of this. Okay. This is the actual shot. Okay. So I'm giving you behind the scenes of how I do this. Thank you, Pete. I appreciate you, buddy. Not hearing any delay here. Awesome. There's a way you can line up these rings to be on the same plane. And the trick that I do, which is really simple, is I find a straight edge, like a credit card that I have on me, or sometimes it's a knife if I'm by the cake table, and I use the flat edge, and I put it right here, and I push them together, and then eventually they all are on that edge, and then I move it. That's it. So when I focus right here in the middle, I know this is there, and this is pretty much there too. I'm okay if these go out. You know, by the way, I want this to be the star. I want the main engagement ring to be the star. So this table, the 16mm lens is not defined as a macro lens, doesn't have macro ability. However, you can focus extremely close. So when I tell you, if you put two fingers together, you know, like you're doing the Scout of Honor, two fingers in the air, that's about the distance of the ring to the lens that you can get. Like, it's crazy. Maybe three fingers, but I'm telling you, it's crazy close. So what I love about the 16mm 1.4 is I don't have to change lenses to do these kinds of shots. You know how you're using your macro lens to do this shot, but then you look to your right and something candidly, photojournalistically is happening with her girls, or something's going on, but you've got the wrong lens on your camera. You can't just turn and shoot because you're only geared up to do this image right now. You know what I mean? Like, I've had that in the past. You know, that used to bother me. I hate missing shots. I hate missing an image that I knew would help tell the story of that right there, right now. So I absolutely am in love with this darn lens because I can get so close and turn and work the room if needed. I love that. So I'm not having to do too many moving parts of myself when I'm working. The 85mm stays in my little lens bag on my side. So when I know I'm going in for those zoomed in kind of looks, I have that lens. But I know when I'm using it. Like, I'm deciding on when to use that lens. So all I did with this was make it black and white and do a cool crop. That's it. This is basically out the camera besides hitting black and white and cropping. That's it. So should I do that for you guys if anybody else is like just coming in here? 16mm 1.4. That is extremely large. Hold on. Wait a minute. All right, can y'all read that? I'm assuming y'all can. Doobie-doobie-doo. How's everybody's day today? Well, Pete is in good spirits because it's Friday by him. It's Thursday by us, you guys. New Orleans weather is Hades hell hot. That's what they should have called today. They said they said today's heat with the heat index will feel like 109. That's great. Oh my God. So if you're just joining this live stream, I would love to know, how did you find me for the live stream? Did I come up in your feed, or did you read in my comments section? Did you follow my Instagram page where I did a little post giving you a heads up? I would love to know where you guys are coming from so I can pay attention to what works, and I'll be sure to do more of those things for you. So I'm going to leave this on here for a second just so y'all can kind of get a peek at this. And if y'all, can I go bigger? Is it too big? That looks like it's too big to me. Okay. So if I click one more zoom, it's going to be out of y'all's frame. So anyway, you guys, I love doing detail shots with that darn 16 millimeter lens just because I can get that. And then I can totally turn and get something else. So people are always asking me a couple things about the Fuji camera and this lens actually. How is it in low light? You know, how is it with noise? You know, how is it with color? Is the 16 millimeter really sharp? Okay, I'm glad you're here because you're gonna get all those questions answered. This was all window light. These were her flowers. These were somebody's bouquet, I believe. And I just put the rings on there just to play for me. You know, let me see how close can my lens get. And then let me decide what aperture do I need to keep what in focus. So you guys know that if you shoot at 1.4, this will be sharp. It'll start going out, and then it'll go out and go out and go out. Okay? So anything on the same plane as this diamond is, anything that's on this level. So when you're focusing on an image, this may be news to somebody. I might have made somebody's day by explaining this to you. If you have a hard time understanding f-stop's aperture, what's in focus, what's not in focus, if you have a hard time with that, this is going to be your visual teaching experience right now. Fern Man, what's your real name, bud? Do you ever focus bracket on the detail shots? Focus bracket meaning take a picture here, take a picture there, take a picture there, and then blend it later? No, just straight up no. Anything that's going to cost me time in Photoshop or later is usually a no. Because honestly, is that what you meant, by the way, Mr. Fernman 68? When you say focus bracket, do you mean taking a picture of different areas so you can blend them and then have all of this in focus? I'm just curious. Go ahead and I'll wait for your response on the comments. So let me help you out with this, guys. When you're focusing on somebody's nose, say this is their nose, this is their face, okay? When you focus on the nose, the larger eye, the biggest eye of your camera, which is your smallest number, so 1.4, that huge eye, is going to give you this plane of focus, this line. That's the plane of where you're focusing. And then depending on the f-stop and the depth of field allows how much is or is not in focus behind this plane. So when you're looking at this image, you're also noticing to the left, look, it's in focus. Look over here, it's in focus. And then it goes out in the exact same place that everything else does. You know, cameras, you're working with a 2D experience, but we're lighting it in a way to give you a 3D experience. That square, let's just talk about this in a film camera style. When the camera opens, that film was sitting there waiting to be exposed, and it's no different from your digital camera. It is a flat square inside your camera, okay? So your lens is photographing, it's focusing in that exact same dimension. Yes. Okay. Fernman 68 says yes. That's what he meant. Believe it or not, I haven't really done a whole lot of that. I mean, I have done the focus bracket thingy for commercial work, depending on what I'm doing, but I have a trick around that too. We'll get into that to another live stream. I'm glad you asked me that, buddy. I'm going to write that down in my notebook and we'll add this. My commercial work, I like doing my interiors or bars or restaurants or whatever it is. If you know you want everything in focus, because they usually do, I like doing long exposure photography at the highest, like f32, f22, whatever your lens can go to, and make that work. I'll have to show you that later because it's really, really cool. That'll help you too, or maybe this question. So to answer Fernman 68's question on this exact image, basically, if this is probably shot at 1.4 because I wanted to, but if you shoot this at at f8 or f16, okay, more of this is way more in focus. Okay, so you lose this 3D effect of what you're seeing in the image. And that's the whole purpose of having a large eye on your camera. It's for two things. It's for speed and it's for dimension. Okay? So speed, meaning in low light, you have that huge eye, so you can work with a faster shutter speed because you're allowing so much light into your camera's body. Okay? That's why they call it a fast lens. Is that a fast lens? If somebody asks you, is that a fast lens? What they're asking you is, what is your biggest eye? Is it 1.8, 2.8, 1.4, 1.0? I've never seen a 1.0. That's an expensive lens. A buddy of mine used to shoot for Sports Illustrated in the NFL. And those lenses were 2.0, $35,000 lens. Unbelievable. Probably more than that, honestly. So back to this image. I knew that I wanted her diamond to stand out over all of this. So if you're just jumping on the stream, this is I'm in Photoshop showing you the images. None of this image is Photoshopped. There is no retouching. I can't stand retouching, honestly. You know, if there's a cigarette on the floor when you're doing a family shot, don't say you're going to delete that later. Go move the cigarette, bud. All right? They'll see you as a working pro, and then you saved yourself time later. Boom. So here's your color, y'all. Here's your Fuji color. This is straight up color out of the camera. Now, I know on the YouTube stream, this is really hard to see, but there's something about noise that's very confused with grain. Digital noise and image grain is different. If you have photographed with film in the past, you understand what grain is. 3200 speed black and white film, 6400 speed, sorry. Well, 3200 was pretty bad too. 6400 speed film would look like carpet. That's how bad the grain was. It was bad. But we all knew what we were getting into, but we needed it so we can, photograph in low light areas. Digitally, without some kind of texture to your image, it just looks too fake digital to me. It just looks too perfect. And I think as far as what I like, I'm attracting the same kind of clients that like what I like. And when I tell you there's two things that us photographers talk about on YouTube that no client maybe ever has ever talked about to me on their own. They don't talk about grain, and they don't talk about bokeh. They don't know what the hell that is. They just want a very good job done. They want something they can share with the world and have priceless, tangible memories that they can look at. That's your real job as a photographer, dude, is you're telling the story. Whether you're photographing somebody's, 1963 Corvette or this diamond ring, everything has a story. That dude with the Corvette, there's parts of that car he loves. There's so much story in everybody's life. And being a photographer, we have the amazing liberty and honor of having the privilege of aiming this camera at them or at their moments in life and giving them something that you froze for them. That's why I started loving photography when I was young. It just seemed like such a huge responsibility to me. So I desperately wanted to get better quick. And that didn't happen as quick as I would like it to. The first 8 years I was in business, I didn't have a style. I didn't have an image you can look at, say, at Professional Photographers of America when you do print competition and everybody has their work up. I didn't have a defined style where you can look at it and say, oh, that's GK. That wasn't there. That was very frustrating. And all of you new photographers, it's equally as frustrating because you can't help but look at somebody's image and want to do it like them because you want to learn how to do it. But what happens is the more you reproduce somebody else's work, you don't create your own style. Everything starts to blend. So when that shopping bride told me everything looks the same, That's what she meant. Everybody's showing off the exact same poses, that same damn filter, that same, whatever it is, that same crop. Everybody's copying each other because everybody just wants to do it good, which I understand. But separating yourself doesn't mean a digital action on your images. Okay? That is not a style. This is not a style. Me shooting this, I'm pretty sure I've seen this image 100,000 places before. But for Heather, on her wedding day, this image belongs to her. This is her diamond, his ring. That big diamond is the day that boy got on his knees and said, Heather, you crazy, crazy girl, will you marry this crazy, crazy dude? And let's share our life together forever. That's what this engagement ring is, you guys. That's what this is. Okay? It's not just an object. It's still somebody's story. So why not look at a job differently in that aspect and start photographing the story? How would you show the story to your kids, to your 5-year-old who doesn't understand all of your talking and language that you're explaining things to a child? You can show a child pictures and you'll see them react. You'll see them like or love it or hate it. I think photography is the same. I really do. I think you need to capture it in a way to where the 5-year-old will light up because they get it. You don't have to explain anything. I know that's deep. I'm sorry. That's who I am. Okay. Anybody that knows me personally, you know this is me. We get a bottle of wine open and I start getting deep. So talking like Barry White about life. Let me take a sip of water, you guys. Hold on. Oh my goodness. I should mute that next time. Did y'all hear my swallow? I'm so sorry. I know that's terrible. Fernman68 says, Alberts de Leon, I'm a furniture maker that sometimes do product photography. Cool. So you try, oh man. Dude, I can so help you. Or maybe you're perfect. I have no idea. Instagram, Focus with GK. Follow me if you're not already. Why don't you DM me? And I would love to attach a picture on your DM, dude, so I can see some of your work. One, I want to see like your work, like your furniture. You make furniture, man. That is carpentry down to the simplest form. You know what I mean? How many thousands of years does that craft go back? Wow. I love it, dude. That is some creative stuff. I'm assuming that's what you do. I'm assuming you like creating things that people want to put in their homes. That's awesome, man. And you need the proper looking imagery to sell your work. So photography is extremely important for your social sales, if that's a thing, if you guys understand that. This image of Heather and Andrew, I love. This was you may kiss your bride. I love this. This was not You May Kiss Your Bride. Look, there's people down here. I made them do that. I did. They were down there for cocktail hour. We were taking care of family pictures. That's funny. But this golden light, oh, I loved it. And, back in the day, we hated lens flare. We hated it. We thought it was a disruption to the contrast of our image. Make sure your lens hood is on. Have somebody block the sun for you. These days, everybody loves flare. I love real. I appreciate this image so much better because I know I went click and this is what happened. They love this image because this was real. They remember the sunlight on him. He remembers, that feeling that sun on the right side of his face as he's kissing his girl. Look at the highlight on her right here. See the highlight on him? That's because of this big thing over here, man. It's a perfect angle for where they were standing. It was really, really cool. Will this work in print competition at PPA? No. They would destroy me on how this is not looking like this, and this is going to be very distracting because it's brighter than them. If you turn the image upside down, your eye should go to your subject, not to over here. They don't pay my bills. I'm sorry. I love print competition. That is how I learned. That is how I got better. But there's a point in your life where making your clients happy means sometimes being a little bit more free and let go a little bit and have fun with them. And if you're telling a story, it's easier for you to capture the story when you realize that you as a person, you're part of this story as well. You're there, you're interacting, you're making people smile or not smile. How are you? How do you direct people? Do you laugh? Do you smile? Do you say please? Do you say thank you? Do you do a dance with them? Or do you point your finger because you're a master photographer and I know everything and you need to stand right here and please don't move? That is not me. That is so not me. So not me, man. But I love this image. So this is out of the camera, you guys. I'm going to show you this image in Capture One in a second. First, I want to go through these other images. Because when you see the original image, you're going to, compared to this, you could be like, huh? How does that look like this? Well, look, back in the film days, when we photographed with negative film, okay, the lab did the work for you. And they added the color and made that preview, that proof that you see, according to their preference on what they thought the image should look like. Okay, Andrew's in the house, you guys. Andrew Malden, he's the man right here. Dude, oh my God. I have got to do a visual podcast one day so you guys can see Heather and Andrew and get all of the funness. These are some fabulous, fun people. Let me tell you something. This weekend was absolutely one to remember. All of us that were there, all of their friends who were working vendors, we have some crazy, awesome, beautiful moments together. So let's move inside, okay? Fast forward to nighttime, and it's like, what do you do here? Believe it or not, these are 2 LED lights that I used. I did not use a flash. I've been doing this lately, and it's kind of insane a little bit. There's this little, that credit card size aperture light that everybody loves, that little LED aperture light. Let's see if I can find it for y'all. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. This guy. The one I have, I'm pretty sure it is. It's not this version, it's the other version, but it's the exact same thing. I will hand hold this in my left hand and aim it at the subject, okay? And so that's coming this way, right? So the second LED that I had on like the little hot shoe foot was over here sitting on something, aiming it towards them. Light that is aimed into the camera's 45-degree angle will always look and act brighter than the actual power coming out of the light. I know that sounds like, whoa, what the heck are you talking about? Literally, this highlight, this intensity of light doesn't have to be crazy strong. It just needs to be enough to give you a ratio. Therefore, you will actually get a highlight. So one LED is back there. This is me hand holding this LED, and I can shoot. So when somebody says how's the focusing on the Fuji XT3, this is one hand focusing on continuous with face detection on. That's it. So this is not retouched. If they do this image for their album, if they get an album or she wants to put it on their wall, or she just wants me to do this, I will absolutely retouch her sweat right here, her shine. This is out the camera, you guys, okay? I'm not showing you guys retouched stuff. So getting into the grain again, what I like about the Fuji's grain is that it looks so much like film grain to me from what I remember back in the day. This looks more like film grain than digital noise. And that's the difference in cameras according to the chips that they're using in their cameras. So the more people that complain about grain, the more plasticky fake these images are going to start looking from camera makers, because they're answering the call to everybody saying, I don't want any grain. I just want everything to look perfect. Perfect isn't real. Okay. It's not organic. It's not going to look organic. It's going to look too perfect, Moving to the left. So, Mr. Andrew did not know this, but she told me, she goes, oh, by the way, I have a surprise for Andrew. We're doing fireworks. I'm like, really? Yeah, he doesn't know yet. He loves fireworks, and I got fireworks. I'm like, sweet. Go into the comments. Sand Peep Papanini? I'm thinking Papanini, right? Nenny? N-E-N-I? If you get a chance, please do complete tutorial on Capture One Pro for Fujifilm files. I'm going to show you Capture One in about 2 minutes, buddy. Let me get through these 2 more shots. So people always ask me, so how is it in low light? Okay, this is 16 millimeter 1.4 handheld, because I was over here doing something, and the fireworks started going off without any heads up, which was really, really cool, honestly, because everybody was surprised at the same time. So cool. I quickly cranked my shutter. Can I see that? Can I see? Will that show me here? How do you see? Oh, darn. Can you see the image? Yeah, file info. Camera data. No, I want to see. How did I shoot it? Are y'all seeing something I'm not seeing? Where's the data in here? I don't know. It's gonna bother me. It's not here. Interesting. All right. So look, I just cranked up my shutter, my ISO, a bit, so I can use a faster shutter. Okay. So I knew, being handheld, I wanted to have a bit of a fast shutter, like 2/50th of a second, even 500. So I can do a handheld shot, still get imagery. And I was a little concerned because going up to 4,000 ISO and above, that's when you start wondering, ooh, how is this grain going to look? How is the noise going to look? And that's everybody's concern, is in that high ISO range. So this was a real honest-to-God job. Mr. Andrew is on this comment thread, so everybody should say, hey, Andrew, real quick in the comments. Tell him congratulations. They are newlywed as far as, oh, God, now we're on 2 months ago now. So here's the nighttime shot, right? Handheld. You guys tell me. You tell me, honestly, does this look terrible to you? What part looks terrible to you? What part of the grain looks bad? You know what I'm saying? Like, where is that digital noise that looks like that snow on a TV, that static snow on a TV? That's what digital noise really looks like. That's what it reminds me of. This is beautiful. Look at this. I love this grain texture, and that's what it looks like, is a fine grain texture. It doesn't look like digital noise to me. I did not expect that from the Fuji XT3, nor did I expect that from this image. I distinctly remember the next day after the wedding pulling these images up from the fireworks, and I'm like, how did those things look? I mean, how good are they? I was pleasantly surprised on this. Boom. Like, come on. Now, again, this is nothing done to it, so watch this. Let's go levels. Let's bring the blacks down. Now, this is Photoshop. This is not the raw file, but you get the idea. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? So let's jump to the raws for my boy Sand Peep. Yeah, so this is all handheld, you guys. Dig, dig, dig. Does this help y'all? If I do black screen? So cool. That's, man. Look at the detail in this thing. Look at all the smoke and the everything. There's so much energy happening here. And getting this handheld, to me, is amazing. It is. I mean, how fortunate are we these days to have these amazing devices in our hands that we can get these quality images with the proper knowledge on how to do it. It's there for you, dude. Any camera model right now is amazing compared to 5 year ago cameras. Okay? Any model. I don't care what you buy. Nikon, Sony, Canon, Fuji. You know, those good high-end cameras. You can just work, dude. Okay, so let's jump into Capture One. I was working on my logo, my thumbnail for this. What do y'all think about me calling it a visual podcast? You know, you're not seeing my face, which I know you don't care to see. Let's just show the goodness. And it's like a radio. You're hearing my voice, but visually, let me give you a little teaching here or a show. Capture one. All right, give me a second, guys. Tell you what, while I'm trying to find it, enjoy this. This is Puerto Rico, actually. This is in San Juan, at the old fort. Look at the water. That is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, capture one. Come on. So in the comments, if you do have any questions, please ask away. While I'm here, you've got me for another 30 minutes. That's what I have set for myself to do. And I'll have to get back to work because I have real client work I'm working on. But let me show you some goodness here. Where are we? I'm going to put you on mute. Hold on. All right. All right. Let's pull this up, shall we? How are we in the comments? Caught up in the comments? Okay. These are the raws. Let me find. You're going to read, dude. This is where your computer and your processor and your RAM talks to you. Like, I'm old and slow, and I'm going to show you. Alrighty, kiddos. Let's see here. Come on, read, dude. So how is everybody's Thursday or Friday if you're in Australia? Oh my goodness, Pirate Pete, man, I still want to see those boats that you went to the other day. I gotta see what you were checking out, dude. It sounded like a really fun getaway trip to go check out in your area. I think it's fascinating that you guys are from all around the world at the same time we're here, even though you're in different time zones. That's cool. You know what I mean? So right here, right now, is real. Because it's right now. Comments. Thank you so much again, George. You were amazing. I can't think. Oh, this is Andrew. Thank you, buddy. Man, I tell you. Trust me, Andrew. There's not a day that goes by I still don't talk about your wedding. And it always starts off in conversation with how amazing the people were. And then everything else comes after it. And, oh, by the way, that was a postcard wedding because we had pretty much perfect every day. That was just phenomenal. So, man, my computer is very slow right now. This is cray-cray. Who are we at? Who asked me to do this? Sandpeep? Sandpeep, real quick, did you have a question that you wanted to see in Capture One? Was there something you wanted me to do so you can get it? Pirate Pete, I agree. It's just the coolest thing in the world to me. Back when I was in my teens, I was driving. So 19, 20, I used to be on the CB, the CB radio. And when you put it on sideband, high or low, during the day, that signal would bounce off the clouds, and where it landed, sometimes you would get a response. So every once in a blue moon, here in New Orleans, I would hear and talk to somebody in Hawaii. I remember distinctly I had a map with pins, and I'd put it on the map. And one time, it was Miscou Island in by Canada. Yeah, way out there. Very cool. And I think YouTube is, like that. We're all at a platform at the same time, and it's just awesome. So Sandpeep, I don't see you asking me a question here, but if there's something in particular you want me to do in Capture One, I'm here for you, bud. So let's do this. I'm trying to find. This computer is slow all of a sudden. Maybe because it's doing a lot of things at one time. Oh my God, this was so much fun. Y'all, the band that they had for the cocktail, the rehearsal dinner night, basically, these guys were awesome. Completely awesome, dude. You wouldn't expect to go to Puerto Rico, find a good local Puerto Rican band that plays covers, and you would have no idea that they would play songs that you like and love from America that everybody knows. It was just the coolest thing ever, and they put their own little spin on it, and they were very interactive, and they were good. They were just straight up good. That whole night, everybody was like, where did you find these guys? Andrew. I think Andrew said I think the coordinator to the wedding knew them. Andrew just asked for a good band, and somebody said, yep, I know somebody. And then these guys come. That was so cool. That was pimp. Man, I'm trying to get lower to the wedding, and this thing's not reading very fast. Sand peep. All right, dude. Oh, man, I want to get to... I thought I had this pulled up right before you guys came in here, and it went away on me. So anyway, good old Fuji XT3. It works good in low light. You see the highlights. You see the bright stuff. You see that lens, the 16 mil. Love that darn lens. Canon 85, 1.8 with the Fringer adapter. It works good. I find that focusing with the Fringer adapter with the Canon lens seems to work a little bit more consistently if you put your focusing mode on single servo, not continuous. Just because the optics on the lens is going to the Fringer, and then from the Fringer to the Fuji. So being that it's not a Fuji lens with the exact perfect elements connected and all, the lens works. It works very well. But I think locking to a focus is better on a single servo mode than continuous. On continuous, it wants to keep working, and it will work. But the lower light you're in, stick it on single servo focus on that S, not continuous. You'll thank me later. And get the face detection turned off. You can do zone, you can do single point. And you can customize the Fuji on the back of the camera with all your buttons to be quick. And that's what I did, I am so glad I found that video on how to customize your Fuji because, man, working now is so much quicker. So much easier. Oh, my goodness. All right, I am trying... Oh, man. Trying to get to the wedding, man. This is the rehearsal dinner night. We had a lot of fun. Watch your boy Dipper. Bam. So yeah, this is all natural light. Love, love, love. That's a little LED flash in my LED constant light in my left hand while I'm shooting with my right. Pretty cool, huh? Same thing here. That's all that is. Boom. All right, come on. All right, we're getting there. So how cool was this? So this was the house we had, and the pool had this waterfall thing happening. Well, under the waterfall is a swim up bar, and that's where Otto was, our amazing DJ, by the way. Dear Lord, Otto is the man. He works. He doesn't just play a song. I mean, he is mixing the song, slowing down the beats. He's a true DJ that I know DJs do as far as they work their equipment. They're not just hit and play next song. You know what I'm saying? So this was fun. So there's a couple of images. Where is it? Otto is down here. Let me see if I can show you. Otto's down here DJing, and then people are dancing on top of the waterfall, and it was just the coolest thing ever. And again, low light. This is all just natural light happening. Okay, looking at the comments. Pirate Pete, another lens I recently acquired and love now is the fairly inexpensive 55 to 200. I've heard good things about that lens. Very sharp and a good size. I just saw, I think, was the Cam the Man? I think he has that lens. I think that's the one he was showing off. And he likes it. he said he was very pleasantly surprised on how well it took the pictures and the image quality. How much is that lens? Like 750, 850? By the way, George, I signed up to Instagram just to follow you. I have almost no media on my site yet, but I'm thinking about posting a few. Awesome, dude. That makes me happy. I like motivating people to do creative things. That's so much cool. All right, come on, computer. All right, finally, the wedding. Dear Lord. Okay, so what I wanted to do was get to... All right, let me show you this. Hold on. Who was it? Fernman68. I think you were the one asking me about focus bracketing. Yeah, you did. So I was totally playing with these images as far as what works, what doesn't work. You know, 1.8, do some at a higher f-stop just to see what I would get, which ones would I like. Okay, here's that image, so check it out. You're my witness. This is the raw file. This is the absolute raw file. 16 millimeter. This was shot at 4.5 at a 60th. And I could have worked at a faster shutter speed if I would have raised my ISO, but I was liking what I was getting, so I didn't have the urge to make any changes. What I love about that Fuji camera are the knobs are on the top, and that is so cool. It's the ultimate manual way of really shooting a camera as far as your brain thinks about just three things: ISO, f-stop, and your shutter speed. That's all you're really worried about, you know. And I love how I can reach up to a dial and work without having to fumble around sometimes. So anyway, this was at 4.5, so you can see me being so close to this thing. Look how quick the 4.5 falls off. See how this is boom, and then that's still in focus, and then it goes out of focus? Interesting, huh? So if this was at 1.4, this would be completely out of focus. You wouldn't see any of those lines. If it was right here, 1.4, you would get this, and then all of this would be blurred at 1.4. So even though it's great to say you have a 1.4 lens, the amount of times you're actually shooting at 1.4 is more than I thought, honestly, because the Fuji focusing works. It really does. It works. And I can shoot at 1.4, even with people, because when it locks onto the eyes, that's all I care about, being in focus, you know? It makes the image look fantastic if the eyes are in focus. But for everything else, I get off of that 1.4, and I like the 2.8 to 4.5 range, depending on what I'm photographing. I got it here with Fuji cashback for about your $400. Really? So the Fuji cashback was like when you bought the camera? Like a rebate style thing? Very cool. So yeah, you guys, this is the actual raw file. So I'm glad I'm showing you these, because this is what I wanted to show you. I want to get into where that sun was coming down. La la la. Okay, we're going. This is all natural light. This entire wedding was natural light, honestly, because the LED is still a constant light. It's not a flash. The reason why, if somebody is wondering why do you use the little LED thingy, is because you want to match your light source. So if you have ambient light or constant light that you're working with, you using constant light gives you the opportunity to photograph exactly what you see, compared to a flash that may overpower or just change the look of what you're seeing because it's flash. You know, it's not that soft constant light. So that's why I do it, and I'm very happy with the results. So let's go here. Look, isn't that cool, y'all? Look, you'd walk out here. This is where she got dressed, right up here on the top, and then you walk out here, and then you can sit there in that little bitty wading pool, you know, that really low water level. But they were dancing up here, dude, and your boy's DJing down here. So cool. So cool. Okay, moving on. Love this. Look at this. Hold on. So cool, man. Yeah, the camera just works, dude. It does. And I'm going through these, so I know the quality's terrible. But let me... Come on. Come on, come on. It's still reading the raws. It's still like building... Wow. I need a new processor and RAM bad. Real bad. Alright, let me just go to this one. Doobie doobie doo. Alright, so this is the actual image, but let's do something here, shall we? Okay. So, the highlight in the high dynamic range, if you want to tone down these brights without changing exposure or the contrast, the high dynamic range level right here is really, really cool. I use these two things quite often. So bringing it back down, this is the full shadow range, okay? So if you want that up a little bit, you can, just to kind of bring the shadow areas up. But this is what I want you to pay attention to, is the sky. Watch the sky, okay? We're going to do two things. I'm going to bring down the highlights, and I'm going to show you color. So highlights, let's just go all the way so you see a big, big, big difference, okay? Check that out. So anything in your image that is at that same bright, you know, level of white is what the highlight dynamic range affects. So if somebody's shirt was kind of blown from the sun, it too will tone down, okay? Which is really neat. And I'm going to show you something else. Sandpeep, are you still here, dude? Talk in the comments so I know you're still here, because I'm getting ready to blow your mind right now. I'm going to show you something that's really, really cool. If you already know it, well, then it won't blow your mind, but I'm going to show you something that's very, very neat. So let's bring these highlights down to where you like it and love it, okay? Say you like that. Boom. Now you want to enhance that color, because you know, you in your brain looking at this image when you're taking the picture, you're telling yourself, oh man, I really want to show off that beautiful golden sun that's happening in the sky. Now, I'm going to drop a little knowledge on you now. Okay, you ready? Cameras capture in 19% gray. 18% gray? I think it's 18% gray. Which means a lot of times your images in the camera aren't going to look crazy vibrant, because it's still capturing into a range that is a really good exposure and contrast and all that stuff. So shooting in JPEG, whatever you set up, you're done. I mean, you can make some adjustments, but not like RAW. This is why I love shooting RAW. Here's your Kelvin. Let's go more yellow. So your higher your numbers here, the more yellow you're going to see. So let's just look at the sky for a second, okay? Let's look at the sky and the water. Look how it's bleeding. Now you know it's going to the whole image, right? Okay, hold on. We're going to take care of that. So let's go back down to where the people are still getting some of that warm glow, but we're not getting that, wow, that's too much yellow look. So right around here. This was end of the day. Like it was going down, dude. See what I'm saying? It was behind the clouds. So we're waiting for that sucker to get down here. That's when I would see that ball of light. So those clouds weren't bad, because it gave me an opportunity to not be blinded during the ceremony. And then by the time we did the family pictures and all, the sun was down here. And that's how you got the image I showed you earlier. Pretty cool stuff, huh? All right, in the comments, I'm not seeing Mr. Sandpeep, but let me show you guys this. So let's go back. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to where we want the people to look normal. Okay. All right, we're going. All right, so let's go there. So let's say you just want to play with the sky some more. So watch this. Up here where it says background, add a layer. I must have clicked too many times. And let's draw a mask. Let me raise this. All right, let's just draw a mask over certain areas, and you just want to see what can you do here. Okay, so first things first. Let's go to your contrast. Let's go to saturation, and you can start seeing where you ran your mask. Okay, let me go a lot so y'all can see this crazy, crazy difference. Okay. Let's say, no, I want more dramatic, man. Yeah, wait a second. I like the texture in those clouds. That's kind of wicked. So here's what I love about Capture One. If you keep painting, no matter where you keep painting, those exact same settings just apply. Okay? How cool is that? So it's kind of like, that's wicked. So you can absolutely mask an area that you want to mess with without affecting like your people. See what I'm saying? And if you do this and you're like, oh man, that looks really, really cool, but I'm not liking how it, I don't know, say we, oops. No, you don't, I can see what happened here. You guys probably can't. But anyway, all you do is go to erase. And it's gone. That's it. Pretty cool, right? So this is the absolute extreme, sample to show you guys, but I just want you to see a huge difference in moving these levels over here. And you can, and now you have that mask, right? So you can still keep tweaking where the mask was. So look at that. Look at that sky. Is that cray-cray? Let's do it. Say you're doing this and you're like, okay, wait a second. They're really cool people, but man, the sky. I need this sky on my Instagram feed. And you're like, I need to just show off the sky because it's beautiful. Who is that guy? The painter? The lovely clouds. Lovely, lovely clouds. Oh, he was awesome. You know who I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Just the sky. Pretty cool, huh? All right, you guys. So Tim C just jumped in. Thank you, sir. Let us know where you're from so we can give you a shout out in your region. So moving on to another image. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on here. Look at this. Isn't that cool? I mean, what a moment. What a quick, candid moment. That is, I love real. I love smiles. I love laughter. This is an image that tells a story. That movement that's happening. Oh, it's so cool. This, I believe, yeah, 44 millimeter. Interesting. I threw a Canon lens on there. Interesting. So check this out, you guys. Let's do this real quick. Let's go auto everything. Don't like that. Control Z. I do love this. So let's go a little more contrast. Let's do the highlights. See, when you do the highlights in the range, it brings that down. Pretty cool, huh? And then all I gotta do is change the color balance. This is the same kind of stuff that the lab used to do for our film. You guys, they would add color, take away color, and they would create this print to give you that they were translating as far as what looks great. So you using Lightroom or Capture One, you're the lab now. So, this is your job, which is finding the color that you want to show your people. And, it's not throwing an effect on something. You're absolutely doing something that is in camera. You're bringing the colors down to where they were, or wherever you want to enhance, but you're done. Boom. I think I'm done with that. Bob Ross. Thank you, Tim C. Not far from yourself. Oh, really? Southeast Alabama. Southeast Alabama. You don't know Keith and them over at Capitol Filmworks, do you? Because if you do, I might have met you before. You would know if you met me already. So anyway, you guys, that's pretty cool stuff. In the comment section, is there anything in particular I can do for you in Capture One real quick? Is there anything I can show you? I can show you this though. When you have the image up that you just tweaked and you like and love it, yeah, there it is. All right. I can't show you this on the screen, but if you hit... Let me just make sure I'm doing this right for y'all. No, I'm not. Hold on. All right, there it is. So, if you go to the image that you love, like you like the coloring you did here, and you want this to make the other 20 shots that were in this little area look the same, hold down your Control and your Shift keys, hold it down, then at the same time hit C. So you're holding down Shift and Control, now C to copy. Now you can do this. Make sure up here, this is clicked on top right. You see where my mouse is? La-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da. Make sure this is on. So it does the same thing to all the images. Now do the Control Shift V for paste. And they're all done the same. Pretty cool, huh? So that's how we edit. That's what we do. You know, we go through these things. We do yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. We come down to the final images. Then we go back, at least I go back, and start color correcting. And I got to be honest, the color coming out of the Fuji XT3 looks really, really good out the camera. This picture right here, there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with the image. The white balance is a little cold, and I really want to show this off. So the camera itself is doing a great job of giving you this range of canvas in your raw file when you expose it correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people want to blow out the sky, and when you blow out the sky on purpose, sometimes you're deleting so much information from your image you can't bring it back. So if you're much better off running and gunning at -1, like one stop under, so you can have a faster shutter speed. And if you're under, you can bring it up so easy in your raw file. But if you blow things out, you're deleting information in the capture. So it's very difficult to bring back something that's not there, basically. So when you blow out your sky, when you shoot it, even in a raw file, if it's 4 stops too bright, you're not going to be able to get that back. At least not the way you want it to. I love how all I got to do is this. Let me bring my tint a little bit. You know, you could do... There's white in every image for your selector for your color. You can click white. I always click the bride's white. There's usually white and gray or black somewhere. Black doesn't work as much as white and gray does. But like, I click that and I can see how red that is. I click this, I can see that change. What about his gray suit? See how it's a little bit too yellow? Pretty neat, huh? So anyway, that's really all I would do to this image, and I have the structure and the clarity. You can do what you want with that. Okay, Tim C. My profession is aviation, with photography being a lifelong hobby. How cool is that? What do you fly, brother? Jordan. Hey, George, local Metri boy here. Come on, man. So, Mr. Jordan over here is, I'm assuming is Mr. Well, yeah, geez, you said local boy here. Good God. It's my dad brain, y'all. That's where I grew up. I grew up in Metairie. I'm out in River Ridge right now. So if you know where the PJ's is on Jefferson Highway in River Ridge, my business is in that same little strip with Taste of Tokyo Sushi, PJ's, me. So that's where I am. If you were at my window right now, I could wave at you. Pirate Pete, do you expose to the right, George? To the right meaning what? To overexpose on purpose? I'm assuming that's what you mean, to the right. I have that Fuji camera set to blink. You know how you can turn the warnings on when the highlight warnings? I have it set to blink at, I think, a half a stop over actual exposure. So what happens is when I'm looking at the back of the screen on the camera, when I'm making adjustments, when I see it blink and I go down a stop and the blinking's gone, I actually go back to the blink because that's basically perfect exposure a lot of times, and I'm done. So if I don't see the blinky, I know I'm missing a little bit of a exposure / contrast thing. Tim C. I train Army people to fly helicopters. Oh, wow. For the last 3 years, the UH-72, also known as EC-145. How cool is that? We got to do this real quick, you guys. We got to do this. For Mr. Tim C. here. UH-72. Oh, wow. Sweet. So these helicopters are mainly used for transport. I think this style helicopter, I see them use on oil rigs all the time over here, going back and forth. This reminds me of the MASH days, the TV show MASH. It was an older model, but this is cool. And then the other one you said, aren't they? These guys can do... Have you ever done acrobat stuff with a helicopter? That scares the crap out of me. But have you? This is cool. I love helicopters. I have never ridden in one yet. I know it would be an amazing experience. It just bothers me that it doesn't glide if motors stop. You know, it's a brick in the air pretty much. But I know a fantastic, amazing pilot like yourself would not kill us. Would probably crash land gracefully somewhere. Same helicopter. Really interesting. It's just a different model, different year. Very cool. Very neat. See, you guys, this is what I love about YouTube. This is amazing. This is people all around the world that are here to share and be inspired and be creative. So yay, man. Yay, internet. How cool is that? About 140 knots. No acrobatic flying particular with student pilots. Yeah. You want to scare somebody? Do a flip. Not true. Oh my goodness, man. So, real quick, any more questions in Capture One? Because I'm going to close. We got another 5 minutes or so with this stream. And then I gotta move on. I got a session to do coming up and some paperwork. That's my orders, which I'll be in Capture One again, doing a little tweaking. What else can I show you though? So listen, so you saw it here, okay? You saw it live here with me. I showed you actual raw files from dark, from bright, with the lens close, sharp. You saw everything here. So the next time somebody says, "Oh, but that camera doesn't handle low light very well," dude, you saw me shoot fireworks. You saw me in actual real job environments, and I love these images. I love the grain that comes off of the Fuji camera, not the digital noise. Love the grain, man. Love it. So yeah. So I have one little thing to say, and this is to anybody in any conversation you have about any topic. If you're in a group of people and you're going to jump in on the bandwagon of what you heard instead of what you know, I personally don't think you have a voice until you do. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes there's a lot of talk going on, but it's just people copying what they hear, and they don't have the camera themselves. They don't shoot them on real jobs, but they're going to talk about specs all day long. Whatever, dude. That's not me. Oh, those helicopters have twin engines. That's so cool. I began following you on Instagram yesterday. Oh, cool. Yeah, I did see you. I think I followed you back. Everybody that follows me on Instagram, by the way, when I have a chance, I immediately follow you back. I wanted the Focus with GK Instagram page to be a mirror image of this YouTube channel. So what I post on there is going to be in reference to what's going to be happening in the video or the live stream on the same day, or the same week at least. Thanks for following, buddy. Thank you so much. And I'm impressed. Very impressed. I had a fighter pilot one time as a client, and he was in for family pictures, and he mentioned he was a fighter pilot, and he flew those F-16s, and he was retiring, and they're tied into their craft, their aircraft. That's their baby that they fly all the time. And I was like, dude, I would love to photograph you on the airstrip with that plane right behind you. Like, I saw the shot in my head. And he's like, well, if you got one of, this is way before GoPro. He's like, if you got one of those really super wide lenses, man, we'll just put you in the cockpit. I was like, what? A civilian in an F-16? Are you kidding me? Needless to say, it didn't happen. He didn't get permission, and his retirement came quick, and that was pretty much it. But that was an amazing almost opportunity. Very, very cool, man. So let me show you guys this. For you boys and girls who just jumped in, I started off by showing some of these images, and these are all out the camera. There's no Photoshop done to it, minus telling it to be black and white and making a crop. You just saw this raw file, I love this flare coming over. I mean, look how yellow that is on them. I mean, this was real. Heather and Andrew can tell you, man, the colors that happened were phenomenal. And everybody that had iPhones, they weren't getting the same look that I was getting. So when people say, are you nervous about your job since these iPhones are getting so good? I'm like, no, I'm not. Even when they do get this good, I can tell you 10 guys with the exact same camera model, they're all going to look different. They are. Now, if they are shooting the same kind of stuff, then you're not separating yourself. So if you are a working pro, figure out what you can do that won't look like your competitors locally. If you want to copy somebody who's in New York or somebody else and that style that you love, you can kind of sprinkle into your style locally. That's awesome. That's totally fine. That's adding to what you like as a style and passing that style on. But if you're doing the same kind of stuff that all your competitors are doing, don't think you're standing out from them because you're a nice guy. People eat with their eyes first. People decide with their eyes first. That's how people judge people. Doesn't mean it's good. And people absolutely judge your photography by what they see first. Okay, so anyway, so these are just some of the images that I pulled aside as faves that I liked. I kind of want to show the range that people keep on asking me about as far as in low light. Is it grainy? Is it noisy? I love Fuji's grain. Just really, really, really reminds me of film grain, not digital noise. And people confuse their lingo sometimes when they say grain. They really mean digital noise. Just like when your clients say, do you edit your photos? Edit to me is different from the word enhancement or retouching. They may think it's retouching. I'm thinking edit is, of course we edit our photos. You know what I mean? So everything being clear to your clients from the first image you show off to the phone call is what people know you as. Man, I'm really glad you guys jumped in. Thank you so much for for everybody that has jumped into the comments, man. I love getting some follow back. I was very excited to do this. I figured, you know what? Y'all don't need to see my face. Y'all just need to see the work and we can chat. And I was like, this is like a podcast. It's a visual podcast. How cool is that? So this is neat. So somebody help me out with this question. Power Pete, maybe you probably know this. Anybody can help me out with this. Do live stream airtime go towards your watch time? I'm a little confused because, I can't monetize my channel yet. I have the subscribers, but it says you need 4,000 watch hours in the last 12 months, which is funny because I have 76,000 watch hours on my channel. So I don't know why I'm not there yet, but it's okay. Got to go a little more. Doesn't matter. I'm not going nowhere, but I'm curious. Tim C, I have significantly invested into the Fuji films. Dude, I'm impressed, man. I did not expect to love, I mean, literally love this equipment. It's been a long time since I've been in love with equipment. You know, it's like laptops. They keep specking here and there, or the iPhones. They keep specking, but what are you loving? I mean, what are you like? Oh my, this changed my life. Like this literally changed how I work. And I thought I would be aggravated with the screen on the back, how you can tilt it down and you can pull it out. Everybody wants that vlogging style to where you can flip it or swing it to where you can see what's going on. I don't care, because when I use the Fuji XT3 for vlogging, here in the studio or whatever, when it's on a tripod, okay, and I'm doing the talking head stuff, the app on the phone works perfectly. So on the phone, I have it by me. It's connected Wi-Fi. This is a whole nother podcast, by the way, because this does work. Remotely operating it from my phone, I'm seeing on my phone exactly what the camera's seeing on me. And you can change f-stop, shutter speed, ISO. You can change all that stuff. So I don't miss the flip out screen. Don't need it. I think it's just one more thing that could accidentally break by an accident. You know, hitting somebody on an event or catching a wall by accident. You know, when that screen is too far out, yeah, you know it'll happen. Jordan, true emotion. Oh, thank you. Tim C. Awesome, man. Yeah, I've got on the YouTube route a couple of years ago, and like everybody else, I was strictly searching videos for how to do this or a music video. I didn't know anything about vloggers until I came across a drone video that Casey Neistat did. And how can you not like Casey? He's just unique all by himself. His look, his sound, his demeanor. He was just so easy to go, oh man, this guy is awesome. He's hysterical, and I like how he's doing this. And of course, from there, it snowballed into everything that we know of as today. And it kind of gave me some hope as far as me having a YouTube channel, because I did not know for the longest time what the heck would I do on here. I didn't want to just do reviews. I didn't want to just teach. You know, it's like, I don't know, man. I want to show off all of me. You know, New Orleans is an interesting place to begin with, but what I experience on my jobs in New Orleans is so different than people think we're about. Since you guys are on the live stream, let me just show you something here. We're going to click around. Hold on. Okay. This is my server. Yes. Let's go commercial. BBC. GE was cool. Yeah, let's do GE faves. This is, I just did a video on this actually, on doing commercial work. It was a long exposure video that I did. Come on, where is it? I'm looking for the one that's the review room. Here we go. Yeah. So these are the kind of jobs that I'll get phone calls for. You know, a lot of times they'll hire me to strictly go photograph decor, because when the designer lays out, there's a lot of communication that goes back and forth from the client to the designer. So by the time the day comes and we're photographing all of this, I know the importance of capturing every piece of item and which angles they need, because they want to take these images to show off to the next client what they can do. You know, it's no different than you having your own personal portfolio. So, you know, there's a lot of effort that goes into what they do, and it's like a half day of setup, you know, for them to get these lights everywhere and bring in furniture and bring in stuff, and it's a lot of work. So when I get on the site, they're done, or they're getting done, and it's my job to deliver the product that they just created. Something about that responsibility I really, really dig. You know, because there's a lot of photographers in town. So when I get the phone call, one, I'm thrilled to work with the same people over and over again. But don't get me wrong. If I did a bad job once or twice, they'll stop calling me, friends or not. Okay, that's the world that I live in. At least is that my higher end clients who have high expectations. It's a huge honor for me to get that phone call or that email, and I love that responsibility because I do have all this crazy knowledge in me from teaching from all these years, and and you don't always get a chance to use all of the things that you do know. And some photographers get lazy and they don't use their tripod when they should. They don't use all their little pieces of knowledge and they want to just shoot it and move on because they're tired. No, I'm always early on site. I always thank my client before I leave, and I always make sure I do a walk through the whole venue once or twice just to make sure I didn't miss anything, because it's so easy for our eyes to miss simple things, So this is cool. So this is just some of the things that I also photograph. Who we on over here? Tim C. Cajun food is my favorite. True Cajun food is amazing. If you come to one of those restaurants where they do Cajun food correctly, it's amazing. If you stick to Jackson Square on the corners where all the touristy areas are, they don't do Cajun correctly because they're dealing with a lot of tourists, and a lot of tourists can't handle true spice that we're used to and like and love. So they simple it down and it becomes too salty. And that's what you remember, is that Cajun food is a little spicy, salty. And we're like, no, you didn't have the right Cajun food. Correct Cajun food will have you thinking of that dish for months. Like, that's how good real Cajun food tastes. All right, you guys. So, wow, I'm going way longer than I had intended. Y'all are just fun, man. I really appreciate you guys being here. Let me get a sip of water. Hold on. Okay. I did want y'all to hear the water bottle going down my throat. What else can I show you? Oh, this was awesome. This was actually in that video that I showed you guys that I posted. Again, this was a private dinner at somebody's house. This is a very, very wealthy person. She, forgive me if somebody knows this story, but either her husband or her husband's dad, I forget what it is, but one of them created Ochsner Hospital. Ochsner Hospital, I'm not sure if it's just here in New Orleans or is it around the country. I thought it was just here. So anyway, fabulous woman. She wasn't here. She was sick that day. 90-something years old, and she's still doing her thing. But this is Chef John Folse. He is the chef with Revolution. That's in the Royal Sonesta Hotel. Uh-oh. And this was the decor that was in the backyard. So all the guests that were invited had a beautiful sit-down dinner that chef created, and this was fun. This also is all 16 millimeter 1.4. I love that lens. So look, so while I'm working, this is exactly my point, okay? I can get these kinds of shots. I'm walking around, and I'm getting close to the table, and I can just I can lower the camera without even looking at it and squeeze the trigger, because I can tilt that screen to where I can see, enough to see the green line. By the way, if you don't have your level turned on, do it. Go turn on your level now, because when the camera is not close to your face, say it's too high or it's too low, when that line becomes green, it's level. It's so easy. It's kind of funny, actually. So I have a lot of leveled shots that I'm not having to fix when I get home. You see my mantra here? I hate work later. I have enough work. I still got to process all these raw files. You know what I'm saying? It's still a lot of work. But to keep adding to your own workflow pile is your fault. That's how I look at it. It's more your fault. A lot of these things can be, done on the job. So I can just get the camera really close to the food, shoot. Somebody's walking around. I'm like, wait, pause, hold that, click, click. Oh wait, they're on their last course. Let's go outside. Let's get a beautiful nighttime shot, because Luminous Events, who did the lighting, all of this candle decor and stuff, all of this was brought in, all of it. Love this. Handheld, done, boom, see you later. But come on, how delicious does this look? Oh, look at that. Wait, I'm gonna go back. Yeah, look at, hold on. We gotta do this. We gotta go to Photoshop. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I mean, just look at this file for a minute, okay? This is where I get photography nerdy. You know, I still get silly when these kind of images happen, and the people in the room are listening to me, and I'm like, yes, oh, this is so amazing. And they're like, what? And I show them, and they're like, yeah, that really is amazing. Look at the individual shreds of cheese, man. Come on. Is the 16mm lens sharp? Does this help? Come on. I mean, how many times? You guys know when you right click and you do actual pixels, this is the worst your file will ever look printed at any size. When you right click and do actual pixels, this is exactly the worst it'll look when you go to a billboard, to a bus, or to whatever. Pretty interesting, huh? So yeah, so if you want to know if it's sharp, you tell me. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Tim C, how about in Homa? I spent a week 3 years ago. Homa probably has the best. That's some true Cajuns living out in Homa. That's down by the Bayou section, the Bayou area, where all of the goodness comes from. I mean, Homa and then lower is about as true Cajun food as you're going to get. Just as long as you're not going to a chain restaurant. Go to a restaurant you don't know of. Ask a local. Stop and get gas and say, where's the best Cajun restaurant that you love to go to with your family? Ask a local. They'll tell you the truth. 9 out of 10 times, they're going to say, go to the hole in the wall or go to the mom and pop restaurant. Don't go to that chain. It's not real. I spent a week there 3 years ago. Oh, yeah. That's so cool, man. Oh, man. So, look, I'm going to work on getting out of here because I can keep going. You guys are just fun. Let me go back here. Sorry. Boom. Oh, real quick, I'm going to leave you with this because this is my next video I'm doing. I recently got a parabolic reflector, and I needed it for some headshots I was doing. And that is these. Yeah. Okay. This was all done on site. This was captured on site with that same, if y'all catch my videos where I have a black background, that's just a big pop-up background that I have. Black on one side, white on the other side. This is the white side. The fall off from that light is so beautiful. It's a 47-inch, so it's big. The bigger the light source, the softer the light, the more the wrap. This is one light, and reflector is over here. This is on site. Okay? Is it sharp? Yeah. So, people that do camera bashing on any camera, my first question that you should ask them is, oh, so do you own that camera? Or did you rent it for like 2 days and shoot it and this is your opinion? Like, do you own it? Do you use it? Do you work with it on real jobs? Because to me, that's using a camera. That's working a piece of equipment, is using it on real jobs when the stakes are high and you got to make it happen. That's a great review. Not borrowing the camera for a weekend, shooting it here and there and tinkering around and then make a video. That does not help me at all shopping. It doesn't. Specs don't mean jack, because anybody that knows how to do your craft well, you can use almost any piece of equipment and get the same results. You really can. So anyway, I just wanted to show you this. I've got more of these images to show you all in the video coming up, but this is just so cool. I mean, come on. this was just a candid moment, and I squeezed. I made him laugh, and he was laughing. And this is not his quote-unquote headshot to use in business. But come on, man. This reminds me, watch, black and white. This reminds me of like Time Life back in the day or whatever. You know, when they used to have, I love those editorial style shots of actors and musicians that they'll do for magazine stuff. I love those editorial shots. And the more years that go by and I see my own work, I'm realizing that that's my style. I like movement, I like fun, and I like people to look like themselves in the image. And that's where your way of directing your client and your demeanor is a complete reflection of you. And what you're seeing right now is his response to me. You know what I'm saying? So this is about as organic as I can possibly get. That is his real smile. He is not trying to smile. This is great. Like, if I was his wife, she'd love this picture of him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is still a good shot of him. You know, great shot. But look at the difference. Wow. That's cool. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for being here. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you. I'm going to work on this video so I can get it out. And I'll let you know when the next stream is going to happen. Let me know, how did you know about the stream? Comment for me really quick. Just if, did you see it in my comment section? Did you see it on my Instagram page? Did I come up in your feed? Like, how did you know that I'm doing this stream? You know, I would love to know, just so I can pay more attention to the sources and throw more that way so you guys can all be on the same board. As a photographer that heavily influenced my decision about it. Really? Yeah. Tim say, now I gotta see your work. I gotta go hunt you down on Instagram. But listen, everybody, thank you so very much. It is extremely hot here in New Orleans today. We're peaking at 109 as the heat index, and that's pretty much in the shade. It's rough, but this is the coolest place on the planet right now, is on this stream talking to you guys all around the country. It's the coolest thing in the world, and I thank you so very much for bringing your positivity, your great influence in the comments for other people to join in and be supportive. Because if you want to make a difference in your life or in your industry, you have to be a leader to some degree, to where if you want a voice, you got to do it, and then you can share it. If you don't do it, don't talk. Okay? Anyway, I'm off my soapbox. I'm getting out of here, you guys. I thank you so very much. Stay focused on your dreams. The more you follow me, the more you realize what the heck that means. Life is meant to be experienced and shared. So if you have any questions about photography or Capture One or whatever it is, please message me. You can DM me on Instagram. You can absolutely get me here on YouTube. Hunt me down. I'm a real business. You know, I'm in business. So you can go look up gkphotography.com. You can get me there. I'm here for you if you have a question. Because if I'm trying to get to the top of this YouTube mountain, what good is enjoying the view if you don't have your friends to share it with? You know what I mean? So I'm glad you guys are all here. Thank you for subscribing if you have. If you have not, please do. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video, definitely. All right, you guys. Peace.